See. Hi, Brent. And let me send the invite out to make sure share copy invite via
I
DM.
just tweeted the space.
Thank you.
Be-
Yeah, you know the project you told me about.
Tanya?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
The Gallery Hope. They're
Yes.
gonna be the guest next week. So I told them that you're the one that referred me.
Yes. I'm glad I could help you find a guest for next week.
Well, I appreciate you because you're on Twitter all the time, so it's awesome that you're like helping me.
Because I'm in the NFT space more often now since like 2 months ago.
I know, I love it. Oh, look who's here! Our good friend Christine.
Because I'm getting some collaborations to find some NFT artists to get my project started, Tanya.
Hi, Christine.
Hello, both of you. How are you?
Nice to have you here.
Thanks so much, Brent. Good to be here. Hey, Tanya.
Hi. I think we also talked about having you on for the NFTs for a cause, also to help raise some money for your project.
Yeah, we're gonna get there very soon. I've been invited to speak at NFT Malam as well. So BK Han approached through Sarav at Coin Republic. He got me attached to BK Han, and BK has brought me into NFT Malam. I'm going to do a few different sessions there with them. And so, yeah, there's going to definitely be a crowdfunding campaign. We're just kind of getting ready to put the rest of the business plan together. I've got 2 students coming to me from Queen's University to really help with this. So, yeah, things are well underway.
That is fantastic. And where is this event at? What is it called again? NFT.
NFT Malam is out of Singapore, and BK has been doing something very similar to what I've been doing or what I want to do here. And so he said, let's collaborate, let's do it together. Let me pass my other the people that he's been working with over to me. I've met some really amazing interested parties, both artists and other entrepreneurs, all who have different disabilities. And so I'm just kind of putting everything together. I've got the person who will kind of curate the community together. And she is a woman who has lost her sight later in life, and so she'll be running that. And then I also got Dr. Kirk Adams out of the States, who has built several not-for-profits up to, one of them was a $97 million organization. He's giving us some assistance as well. So yeah, I mean, I think we're well on our way towards figuring out exactly what this needs to be, and then it's just about putting the business plan together, and then we'll put the crowdfunding campaign together. So super excited.
That is so fascinating, Christine. That I'm fascinated by you, and know that I can have success in the NFT world if you can.
Listen, I think we all can.
I think really when it comes to NFTs, people just don't understand that there's so many things you can utilize it for, and I mean the sky's the limit. Actually, it's really just putting it together.
Tanya's been living the end of the NFT world since February of last year.
No, the funny thing was when I first jumped into, I was just kept going from space to space, and there wasn't that many spaces back then. There's hardly any spaces.
And now there's tons of NFT spaces.
There really are. And last year there was a club on Clubhouse called NFT Superstars, run by Coin Republic, And this year, he's actually brought me into the planning committee, and we're going to do a much bigger event in 2023 with a lot more exposure. So we'll be doing something really cool with the NFT superstars, and the awards called Nifties, NFT awards, Nifties. Yeah.
That is cool. I'd love to. Yeah. Hi there, Reuter. How are you? So yeah, it's interesting how many things have come about. You think about all the different, like in the early days of Facebook. I remember, there's the people just went onto Facebook. They're just to see who's school with or did this, and no one really thought that there was going to be businesses being built out of Facebook, right? And then as you go along, Facebook is like exploding and all these different businesses are being built out of it. And that's how I feel about Twitter Spaces and the NFT platform, because NFT is another tool. It could be a product, but really, really think about it, it's a tool. Like it's art is to me, they say it's a product, but it's also a communication, right? You look at a piece of art, digital in person, or and also when you look at a piece of art, it makes you how you feel. But then now you go fast forward, we went from art to music to film, and then now everybody's talking about tokens and their coins, and I mean it's just the sky's the limit.
Imagine one day now that we're getting back into real life events, that you go to an event, but you go to that event in person, but you get an NFT for being there.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
It's more than that. Like as you know, at my women's group, I feel like as the president, we try to like create things before anyone else does. And soon, once in the fall time, before the year's over, we're gonna launch something where we give tokens to all our members, and even like have our followers too, because I want my national still trying to understand it, even though our group has been around since 1909, and there's like different layers of different um women's I guess we've considered women's lib, but then also different era, right? And so now we're in the era where technology and crypto and all the different things are being utilized that are used to communicate with. And so I'm trying to like get my national, because they have their conference in October, and I kind of like set the seed. I'm like think about this. Think about if the members invested, besides being a member, they can also buy a token where it gives them ability to go to any conferences, any events that you're having. So it doesn't cost them anything because they have this token. So with that token can also turn around and say, hey, this token that is with an NFT can also include a membership. I mean, the sky's the limit. I think it's really it's all in how you look at it.
Imagine if we have an in-person event, but that NFT token gives you like a drink ticket or something, or gives you an exclusive sale, a discount from the exhibit hall.
Somebody just said to me the other day, they said that NFTs are to Web3 just as memberships were to Web 2.0. So they're saying that those NFTs, that's going to be the way your entrance into all these memberships that you currently go into on Web 2.
Speaking of NFTs and investing into your artists and different things, I want to say hello to my good friend, and I his music NFT, Louis. Hey, Louis, how are you? And he's launching his music NFTs today too, because we should get him to talk a little bit about it. So, hey, Louis.
Hey, Tanya. What's up, guys? What's up, Brent? What's up, Christina? Oh, Christine. Sorry.
I'm excited about your project, because really, at the end of the day, as you only have 100 in your collection, but think about that though. This is like the first 100 people to collect your pieces, and then and you're pretty big in Web 2, so. And now you go into Web 3, and then we do our Sunday music NFTs, and you're like interviewing all these different musicians who are getting into NFTs. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Web 3 is an amazing space, Tanya.
It is. It's. I just like when I was
I was talking to like one of my journalism friends, and I think that like Web3 is kind of like the hybrid space, like the event venue, but even better than an in-person event venue, because there's so much more stuff that you can do in Web3 than you can do in Web2.
I think you can be more creative. Like when I worked for Saks Fifth Avenue in the '90s, I'm aging myself. When I worked for Saks Fifth Avenue in the '90s, like we had this thing called it's like you're Saks First. You're like the top tier. You spend a lot of money there, and they're always trying to get people to come in. And then we have like triple points, and where whatever you spend, those every dollar counts a point, right? But on that day, it's 3 points per dollar. So I would try my goal. They would give me a goal, and then I would have to like call my clients, have them tell me what they want. I'd have to hold their stuff and set it aside, and I couldn't ring it up until on that day, so that then you can then they see the numbers, and then the people come in at their stuff. And now fast forward in 2022, I see this type of like promo marketing where like the luxury end, because I see Louis Vuitton, Tiffany are getting into it.
Of a bounce card, Tanya, the same thing that I see as an idea as an NFT is like a bounce card where maybe like a brand has a bounce card and it gives you an exclusive discount for an in-store purchase.
Yes, that's the bounce card is very, very important. I think people spend a lot of money on it. But now if you had those tokens, those things that you can just walk into a door and they scan it. And I think that's what it's being used for, right? Like there's pretty much the tokens, the music. I mean, I don't know, Christine, do you remember when Apple Music first started? I remember these beautiful girls would stand there and pass out these cards. They kind of like little cards. This is like late '90s. I think it was late '90s. And I thought it was, or it was early 2000. And they passed it these cards. And it's like, oh yeah, if you want to, you can get 10 songs for this with this card. And at the time, I was kind of like, where am I going to get this song from? Because I didn't think about the internet as where I'm going to get the music from. But if you think about this now, if somebody had, let's say, a Louis token, like his collectors are able to get like the first people who collect his music NFT, he can add, like down the road and his next project, he can add a token to it. He can tokenize it to say with this token in his smart contract to include all the other 100 collectors that he had before, and also include this token. And then that token would turn around and be able to give people so many things, and he can turn around at the utilities. And like you said, the utility is him. Right, Louis?
Yes, absolutely. I'm kind of running right now, doing a couple of things, but yeah, you're right.
I can see in the future where all of these companies that give discounts just to be offering them as NFTs in the future, right? So if you frequent a particular store, they'll just give you an NFT rather than a store loyalty card, if you will.
I'm still like excited about but I'm excited about? I'm excited about eBay getting into NFTs, because I think like, especially if you really and also, especially with crowdfunding and private parties and stuff, you can turn around and like have these NFTs or even the tokens. You can auction them off, you can raffle them off, or people can just go online, bid for them. Those are the kind of things that I see that happening too. I mean, I think they do that now, right? You can bid for you can go in and bid for like a specific NFT. Am I right, Louis? Have you seen that? Do people like bid against each other?
I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
I said, are people bid like? Are there a way in the marketplace where you can just like how how eBay has it, where you can say, "This is how much this is. I'm gonna put it up for auction, and whoever can bid on it, the highest person who bids on it gets that piece." Are they doing that with NFT
Yeah,
or
you can
music
definitely
NFT?
do that. For so I used OpenSea, right? So I can't speak for every platform. I used music NFT today at 12, and I used OpenSea, and yeah, they do have that option where someone can bid on your NFT, right? But my NFT is 0.01. So there's no point of bidding on my NFT. There's a collection of 100, so it's 0.01 for each of them. Once that collection finishes, right, then that's when the bid starts to appear, right? Because now it's sold out, now it's limited. Whoever wants it will put the bid on it.
So you gotta wait till it's sold out. You can't just like be able to hype it up and then have it before while it's still fresh.
I think you can do that if you have like one out of one collection. But since I have a collection of 100, um, and I can already have a set price already, which is 0.01, right? It's different strategies, but yeah, you can definitely do that.
I think that's what Bessie Mink did as well, Louis, is that she launched 100 of them. They all sold out, and I guess the increases in price now come on the secondary market when somebody sells the one that they purchased. That seems to be the market where people will start bidding on them.
See, like I said, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. We can do so much, and especially giving back to any project that you're in love with. I'm like converting a lot of nonprofits right now. I'm referring them all to give the Giving Block. So the Giving Block has a whole process where you have to fill out this form. You got to show them your website. You have to do all kind of different things just to make sure to prove who you are and then you have to fit the category that they're into. And then they do this thing where they match also, which is really incredible. But they're working with a lot of like different NFT artists are working with them to be able to donate some part of their proceeds to them, and then they in turn donate it to the nonprofit that they choose. I know, Christine, have you had a chance to talk to them?
I have not, but that sounds very interesting. I'd love to.
Well, I can give what I'll do is I'll DM you. Do we have each other's email? I'm gonna DM you my email so we can chat on the email
Yeah,
so we can
we need
plan.
to get together and look at that virtual event software too. I showed it to BK in our meeting on Saturday morning, and he loves it. He wants to use that for the event. So NFT Malam, our evening events, they were virtual only, and then they went to in person at a restaurant in Singapore, and now they are going to be hybrid events, and they're at an actual studio. So it's all, I mean, Malam really it means nighttime, and the Attitude Malam is more about, the um, almost like the circus, like the, kind of, I don't know what you want to call that, like a evening carnival, if you will.
I love that. Is it like a Cirque du Soleil type of deal? Like you can go to Vegas, have Cirque du Soleil, different Cirque du Soleil
I don't know.
events.
Good question, because I haven't actually seen one yet. He just said he wants me to go on there and start talking about what this project really is and what it means. And so he said the segments are 20 minutes, and so we'll probably do it over the course of several different ones. I would love to actually go to Singapore to do one in person. Just got to wait and see if all this is in the cards. I got a grandbaby coming in a couple weeks, so I just got to be around here for that too. So.
Oh, your grandma! Congratulations! Yay!
Yeah, thank you. It's the second one. This one's a girl, and my other one is a
Tanya
little boy.
enjoys that.
Oh yeah,
I'm all about that.
that'll be great. I'm really excited to check it out. And
not only she's all about that, she's all about being a dog mom.
A great dog mom.
Oh yes, of course.
Only a good dog. She's a good dog mom. Only when the dogs listen.
No, no. My dogs, they just like to talk back. I don't, because I cook for my dogs, so they're like they like to rush me. Don't want me to feed them quickly. But Christine, I wanted to also, we need to meet up because I'd love for you to demo that for me.
Yeah.
Again, I have great vision. Like if you don't think big, how are you going to go about this, right? So I think I've been talking about my church, and it just everyone I shopped around, and because my church we're a transhumanist church. So transhumanism is about health and technology. So we're big into AI, big into AI. There's Carl. That's my co-host. Send co-host invite. Hi, Amanda. Let me bring her up too. Invite to speak. And I'm going to bring invite to speak to. So we're big into AI and AI art. So right now there's one, if you get a chance, it's called transhuman.club. It's transhumanism. It's all about living longer, wellness, and Carlos, I gave the mic to you. Amanda, I gave you the mic. If you guys want to grab it, if not, request, and I'll bring you guys up. Would love to hear everyone's project. There you go. Carlos is here, my co-host.
I can second about Tanya's church. Tanya's church is, I go there and I learn so much that I didn't know. And I wrote an amazing blog about Tanya's church.
Yes, you did, Brent.
And Tanya was amazed that the blog came from me.
I was like, you wrote this, Brent? But I'm proud of you. That's why I want you to write for me sometime for some of my stuff, because I feel like the more I'm able to publish, the longer it stays online, the more history is given and help other people out.
Tanya's all about that SEO.
Oh yeah, that's another thing too. I SEO everything I do. So this space today. So everybody, welcome to NFTs for a Cause. We're just we didn't have a guest this week, but we wanted to do a space. So Carlos and I were chatting, and then Brent gave us an idea, NFT project recap. So we're just having people pop in, tell us about your project, and if you are giving back, let us know so we can bring you back so we can feature you. And so Christine is here telling us about her exciting project, and I have my nomads. They call it nomads. They don't have a home. They all moved to Singapore because they say technology is incredible over there. So my friends are in Singapore. And then we have Louis here, who is launching his music NFT today. I'm so thrilled. So I do a space with him from 8 to 9:30 tonight, where we feature an artist, music NFT, and it's his space. I sponsor it in the sense that I live stream it. I'm going to be running ads to it, because I always tell him your success is my success, which is the same thing I tell Brent. And Brent and I have an incredible, I believe we got him to be one of our speakers. He has a space on Monday where we're featuring.
We have an incredible, Tanya and I have an incredible space tomorrow. We have a book chat to do with an author who wrote a book about his father's journey as a reporter in South Vietnam.
And it really, I read some preview. I'm actually going to go buy the book, and I'm going to try to finish reading it as much as I can, because where he's like pretty much where I was born, not kind of like a little bit lower in that area, and just he kind of inspired me, because now I want to write a book about my mom and what she had to go through in the 60s, and then getting a job working for the American government and all the good stuff, being so young and being so my mom was so innocent, and just, and coming to America with nothing except 3 young kids and a teenager. And so, having
the book also be a way for you to tell the story of your uncle not being able to come and having to stay to fight war.
Britt, I can't believe you remember that. That book really triggered me. I was like, oh my God, I got chills. So I'm excited about tomorrow, Brent. And then and then Carlos here. Carlos, tell us, hi, how are you? How's your space on Saturday? Did they fix it? Are you interviewing space host? I know I'm supposed to be coming up as one of your guests.
Yes, I'm very happy because finally, after a few days, I was able to have again the scheduling capability for programming spaces with the schedule, so people can set the reminder and stuff. Hello and good afternoon to everyone. Brent, really happy to see you here. Always like the special co-host in case of emergencies.
The reason why I'm the
late today.
Honorary co-host is I was the one that gave Tanya the idea of having an NFT project recap.
Yeah, wonderful idea. I love it.
And he also gave us the guest for next Sunday too. And then Christine's going to come back too to be one of our guests because we have a guest for next Sunday. Hopefully he has the time. We DM each other. Gallery Hope, the art of. Hold on, let me pull up the profile here. Mm-hmm. Gallery Hope, the Art of Loving Kindness Studio. It's a pro and youth artist who fundraise for children with special needs, mental health, and autism, providing 1-year art therapy scholarship for every NFT sold. They're out of New Jersey, by the way. Louis, maybe. You
wow! By the way, we have a big controversy here in Venezuela right now because one of the most successful comedians, Venezuelan comedians, is now touring South America. He just ended. And he made a very unfortunate joke about autism. And well, it was just like a explosion. Half of the people for him and the other half against him. I am seriously against him because he's spreading a misinformation. He was basing his joke in the fact that Elon Musk. Oh, what was that?
Britt had a microphone issue, but go ahead, Carlos.
Okay, that he was basing his joke in the fact that Elon Musk has autism. Elon Musk has 2 autisms, and Bill Gates has like 3 autisms. And well, now to be autistic nowadays is something super ultra marvelous. It's like and he was referring, of course, to the high functioning autist with or the mild autistic ones, like my own son. I have an autistic son who is 16 years old and he has mild autism. But anyway, even being mild, it was a hell of a to bring him out of the hole because it was after his chickenpox booster. It was in the year 2007, very far back before the pandemic and stuff. And well, it's very difficult for me to have a person in front of myself and tell me face to face that vaccines cannot produce autism, because I unfortunately did experience that. I won't go longer. I will say only is that the joke I decided to do to hit back the comedian is that I put a mother like with a very sad face telling, today is the birthday of my only son with severe autism. He has never gave me a hug. He has never tell me mom, and it hurts too much the fact that he will never be able to do it. I feel very sad. So I will listen a little bit at this so-and-so comedian to see if I can laugh a lot. I mean, just like the irony is like that this mother whose son has never able of saying mom or hugging her is going to see this comedian, and then I put a little globe outside the telephone telling Musk has 2 autisms. Ha 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 ha. Like laughing about the Musk and Bill Gates jokes and stuff. I think it was very unfortunate. He's very successful. I don't question at all. Even he started later than me. I have been 42 years in the business, but he actually did fill yesterday or 2 days ago the biggest theater in Argentina, the Luna Park. And it's great that he's having that success because he's Venezuelan like me, and I love to see all the Venezuelan comedians having a great success and expanding all over the world as it is happening now. There are now one good comedian in Australia who is just like the king of stand-up comedy. And he's totally, he was with me in the stand-up comedy TV show I had like 10 years ago and stuff. I'm very happy for all of them. But I think that what the mistake of this comedian commit was that he was spreading the idea that there is only one kind of autism, the autism, which produces people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates. And very, very, very unfortunately, that's not the case, and that's not the reality. Okay, many, and I mean a lot of people, has severe autism, low functioning. I mean, it's just like nothing that they can do. I mean, really, really difficult unless we have some miracle cure, just like stem cells or something. Or I know something that could happen and become like a cure. But nowadays, I mean, this is like, my question is, if you have one, and I end with this. This is my question to all the comedians. If you have 1 billion subjects or topics you can touch, why you have to get and fiddle with the most delicate, or even with where are so many kids suffering? Okay, because in the case, for example, you could tell me, oh, what do you think of Jada Pinkett and the singer of the Oscars? Hey, she's an adult woman that spent 4 years adding chemicals to his hair. Of course, her hair was going to fail. I mean, it was not a born condition or a congenital condition. I mean, she has like 27 different tones of colors in her hair. I don't know that she cannot do that, but cause consequences. I mean, actions have consequences. And in the case of Jada Pinkett, I think that's included in the package, okay? But I don't want to extend in that, just only comment on that because it touched me very, very closely. For us, it was a fight of many years with 4, 5, 6. My son even got 7 therapists in a week, different therapists, besides going to classes. And now he's high functioning. He learned English by himself, watching YouTube. He has very high functioning areas, but of course he had very low functioning areas in other stuff. And talking about how can I be sure that the vaccine caused the problem is because he was a perfect kid with a vocabulary of more than 90 words, 25 of them in English, and the next day after the vaccine, I mean, he was totally torn off, blackout. He took 6 years to see us in the eyes again. He started to speak at 5, and just exactly the following day after the vaccine. So if you are going to try to convince me with the Lancet, with the with the WHO, whatever, if you are going to be bringing whatever, Pasteur, any doctor of the past, to convince me that my son's autism was not caused by the vaccine, the chickenpox vaccine, you're going to be having a very hard time because you will never got to convince me of that was not the reason. So that was the subject. I'm sorry to bring this somber note, but half of the country is really angry against the comedian, and I feel sorry for him about that. I've been in his shoes before for other political jokes I made and stuff, and I hate censorship, and I'm not asking about censorship. What I say is that he's being ignorant. He's being ignorant on the subject. Don't do jokes on subjects you don't dominate, you don't handle it. But you are spreading a misinformation. You are spreading the fact that autism is something great. Oh, wonderful. It's my superpower. No, it's not that in every case. Thank you for your time.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Amanda, did you want to share? Your hands up.
Yellow. Hey guys, happy new start of a new Sunday, right? I'm just showing some love definitely to you guys. Sorry, I've been so hectic. I can't partners, but I just wanted to comment on Carlos. observation, with that comedian. I feel a lot of things that now with social media, people tend to take a lot more things to heart. And if you are a public figure, it's like you can't sin because you're going to get all these rocks thrown at you, right? And I can understand it's a really hard topic because I do have a lot of family members with disabilities, including my daughter. And she was in the spectrum, and I started to analysis myself. And I was the one to go to her teachers. I was the one to go to her specialists, and nobody could catch it because she was masking it. And things as simple as she couldn't hear a sound without having to cover her ears. She chews everything that's like not food, like there's so many things. She would just cry and scream out of nowhere, and always fidgeting with her fingers, and things that started showing a lot more after she was like 7 years old. There's a lot of like studies of when can somebody start showing symptoms, but most definitely there is a lot of studies that can back up where the kids get them from. There's something as alimentation, like what they eat, or surroundings, that their behaviors can be something that they learn from their parents, even though their parents are not diagnosed with that. But if they have severe anxiety and other things like that, it can continue kind of just like change neurologically for the children. I've actually become a special ed teacher now, and it's so beautiful to see life from a different perspective with these children. And I am now surrounding myself by kids that nobody believes in them. Nobody just gives them a chance. And I'm just starting to know that perspective, it doesn't matter like how fast or how slow, they are so brilliant. I'm so in love with what could be, and it really depends on like what your surroundings give you a chance to be as well. So I'm really sorry for how that comedian might have said it. I sometimes, like I'm with the children, and I'm like, yo, oh, you see like how they can be, manipulative, and get out of the assignment. They have brains sometimes that we don't even like want to acknowledge. But I totally agree that if you're not a specialist on that subject, you should at least learn the behavior of somebody in social media, like what is the other person's perspective, and or how they might take it if you're in a public figure, right? So yeah, and that's a tough joke, but I can kind of see like where he was coming from without it being just he didn't censor himself. And there's not really a way to joke about that other than like we have politicians, we have all these people in really important positions, and they're just like they're just like reading what somebody else prompts them to read. And a lot of these disabled or people that they're calling crazy or autism or anything they want, they're just somebody that they're creative and they do things differently. I don't really walk around saying like, oh, this person has Down syndrome. Oh yeah, my little autism kid. I don't really label them by what their disability is. I just encourage them and try to like accommodate how they learn, how they move, all these things. Everybody deserves their moment to shine. So I'm sorry again about all these
Let me say only one thing. Let me say never in my life I've said that he has the condition in front of my son. Never. But the other thing I want to say is that there was a woman, a wonderful doctor who worked like 40 years. He was a total pioneer working in autism here in Venezuela, la doctora Negron, who was Dr. Negron. She was a pioneer, and she was handling autism and working with the term even before people was knowing, and that was going like a worldwide trend and something just like more global. And you know what? I was very close. I mean, we got her before she died to get her professional diagnosis because she was like the top specialist and stuff. And getting close to her, we were close to a lot of people that were in her facilities. And I saw kids move forward and back. A kid, between quotes, the name kid, because he was 38 years old. And the only thing that he was able to do was just like get into that position. I mean, just like more than 20 years of different specialists never took that kid out of the pattern of that, just like a patron, we say in patron, we say in Spanish. Just like he was trapped in that. I mean, it was just like something that they couldn't handle. And I don't know if you know the concept of that, the data code. I mean, if you like the mini DB tapes, the last generation of tapes actually by Sony, for example, and Panasonic and stuff. These little tapes, which were smaller than the high-8s, they have something which is imprinted, which is called the data code. Okay, that data code is based on the clock of the little camera. Okay, that cannot be tampered. Impossible. I mean, that's proof of crimes, of a lot of things. It's just like the stamp in a security camera, which is done in a way that guarantees that the date and time you're watching are the real ones. And I have tapes of my son because I was doing a show, just like a video blog for a TV station, and I was all day long recording. And I started 2 years before he was born, and I have recordings of him the day before the vaccination. They sent to film the actual vaccination process, which was in his little side instead of the arm. But they need my help because he was so strong and he was fighting. It's just like he knew that was going to damage him. And he was, look at my eyes. I have been having nightmares during years of that last look of him because he was asking me with his eyes, don't do this. And I didn't stop because 3 women nurses, the doctor, which was a woman too, and the mother of the kid. I was like 5 women against me, and I felt that kind of pressure, just like I cannot stop against this. I said, hey, stop, we are not going to do this. It was so really impossible for me to do that. And then I had the recordings the next day. What I'm telling you is that when I been with doctors here, and they start to see that kind of evidence, they just stand up and they say, oh, okay, let's have there is somebody who wants to eat. Oh, I'm going to park my car better in another. Nobody faces what I have, the evidence I have, because they know that what the stamp code in the cameras means and in those tapes mean. And the difference in my son between the before and after is astounding, okay? So I don't want to talk about that anymore for today because it doesn't make me precisely happy. I understand that there's a lot of cases which are actually, there is something called, especially called, I forgot, a sensory syndrome. Just like there is some difference in the way their senses, process the information, and sometimes a lot of people is giving a misguided diagnosis, which is not actually autism. That's an advance in that case, but it's not the case of my son, of course. He still have little signs, and he flips like a bird sometimes when he gets nervous, which is an obvious sign of the condition. And there is a lot of, it's a very, very long discussion. I just wanted to say that it was like very sad for this guy, but my question is, why get into those? Why don't? It's like what happened. And let's talk this. I want to say this. I mean, I never heard. I have Time and Newsweeks from the Boss Clinton periods. I never saw a frigging little article against or talking about Chelsea, even mentioning it, because by a Cavalier pact between Republicans and Democrats, you never touch a minor, okay? And that was not the case with Barron Trump. And I'm so, as I hate as a journalist, I say, how come this is possible? I mean, how are they messing? Is he autistic? Is not autistic? I mean, he's not how do you call him? He's a minor in age. So that was very, very bad done to break that kind of stuff. So I hate the kind of things we're seeing about language, about handling of religions, about handling of. There is something weird going on. Just like wanting things to be, and there are little and funny data. For example, and I end this part with this comment: the Amish. Practically, it's practically zero. I mean, actually, it's like they never have had a case of autism in a girl or a boy. Amish. And you know what Amish do? They don't use electricity and then don't vaccinate their sons. Okay, so maybe there is a relationship. Okay, but it's not my idea. I mean, I retired. This is the first time I talk about this subject again after maybe 6 years, and you brought me into this. I just wanted to make the comment because of that's the high news today in my country, and I know the guy, and he's a comedian like me and stuff. But it's just like smoking in the planes. I mean, who is going to question that measure? I mean, that doesn't make sense. And in the 60s, when I went to Canary Island, to Spain for life, I smoked like a kid. I was 6 years old, 7 years old, because it was allowed to smoke in the planes. Okay, now you just don't do it. You cannot do it. I know if there have been some kind of several airlines trying to get the possibility, just like, we are a smoking allowing airline for smokers who cannot hold 6 hours without a cigarette in their mouth or whatever. But today it's just like and you see, why do you see still some ashtrays in the arms of the plane seats? Because they were built for lasting 30 and 40 years, and they supposed that everybody was going to be smoking in the planes forever. And until we had to stop that nonsense. I mean, you can, what section do you want, sir? Smoking or not smoking? I think that's one of the parts in the history of humankind where humankind has been real stupid, okay? Pretending to make believe that you can separate inside the same tube of metal and say, no, the smokers sit here and you smoke here. You're not going to have a second-hand smoke. Believing that. Come on, don't be silly, don't be stupid. I mean, and that's the case. I mean, what I say is, hey, forget about that subject. I mean, nobody was going to fight the fight of bringing cigarettes back to planes. And what I'm saying is, do the same with autism and with some conditions that affect little kids, Down syndrome and stuff. Just forget they exist. It's not a problem of freedom of expression. It's a problem of moral, of ethics in journalism, of human sensitivity. It's not a problem of freedom of expression, if you pardon me. Okay? Thank you again for your time.
I'm sorry you had to go through that, but I think some people just don't think when they say different things. So I want to go ahead and say to Danny. Hey, Danny, how are you? Welcome. And also Legion, hi. And Ramon, hi. It's about 7 minutes. We're gonna be shutting down the space soon. It's gonna be a short space. I just want to do like an NFT project recap so I can join Louis in his space. But I wanted to go ahead and touch base with Carlos. I don't get triggered. You know, people don't think what they're saying, and I don't think that guy really thought about. I don't think he expected anyone to get upset. It's trending news on Twitter. I mean, I'm addicted to that. I think it's called what is it? Trauma news.
Freaking Elon Musk is like the main topic of the world. Like he is so global, you know. So people are constantly comparing themselves to him. Like how, like what does he have that's special? So obviously, they might have pinpointed that out. You know, I remember a space I was in, Carlos, and we was talking about music, and I told you it was like something about Michael Jackson. And there's like a lot of things of him raping children and a bunch of other stuff. But he for you is the best singer. And you're gonna just continue supporting that what you know, right? What hasn't been confirmed, you don't really talk on that topic. People have different topics that they're passionate about that they can fight for. And this one, unfortunately, hit you a little bit extra hard because you do have something very personal involved in that. But at the same time, like if you continue to stress yourself, you're only stressing yourself about that. I don't even know this comedian you're talking about. You know, God bless him, and I hope that he gets guidance, because apparently he has other people look at them too. But yeah, you know, you can just decide to continue being mad at that or just move on. Don't look at that comedian anymore. He's not perfect. We're not perfect. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. Thank you for your words. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Danny.
Hello. First time here, but is it a specific project with the NFTs for a cause, or it's just talking about?
No, we promote NFTs, all projects. We've been doing this since February of last year. This year. So we promote all different NFT project. We've done Tonga now. We've done Typical Tiger. We've done the bees. It's the whole idea behind this is to really raise awareness of all the different projects that are utilizing NFTs and also crypto. And we had the Giving Block. They're the organization that help nonprofit be able to get donations through crypto. So those are the kind of projects. So now today, we didn't have a guest, so we just wanted to have just an open forum, just to chit chat and talk and catch up, and that's it. So do you have a project that you needed feature? Are you working on a project?
Well, I don't want to shill anything at all. It's just a concept. It's just an NFT concept, but there's somebody else's in there, so I don't really want to talk about it at all.
Well, let's just follow each other. We can talk out on the DM, and we can go from there and see what happens.
Oh, alrighty. I just feel that it could be somewhat of a utility type of project, but my apologies. I think was it Carlos that was talking about his NFT?
No, Carlos is just sharing a thought about this is Carlos's show also. So he was sharing about something that was really triggered him today. So we, when we sit in a space, we like to share and talk about everything. So, but I'd love to hear more about your utility. You can definitely talk to me via DM, and then we can have you come back on another time. We're here every Sunday. Yep. Usually we do it at 6. We usually do it at 7, and we're moving into 6 because that this way, we can do a 90-minute segment, so that gives more time. Because usually we do it for 60 minutes, but then people want to hang out and talk a little bit longer, so we do it 90 minutes. But today we're going to end in 3 minutes sharp. And so let me go ahead and follow you, and then we can just talk from there.
I have a final thought, Tanya, before we go, and it's something that inspires me. Every Monday, Terry gives a word of wisdom in Tanya's Empower Yourself Monday space, and my word of wisdom of my final thought is everyone's project is unique.
I would fully agree, Brent, and I hope you're doing very well.
my final
Yeah,
thought
Danny.
for this space,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tanya.
Go ahead, Brent. I was gonna just suggest to Danny that we're gonna be hopping off this space pretty soon. Like in 2 minutes, we're gonna be going to Crypto God Louis, who has an NFT project launching out. Definitely a lot more people familiar with that topic are gonna be in the space. So you're welcome to come on over, talk amongst greatest on the Web3, maybe hear some music. And yeah, we always have a blast. And Tanya is your get to go girl in any type of marketing, any type of event planning. Because in order to get that community flowing, like and get your holders and all that fun stuff, you really have to have somebody experienced in that aspect of how to promote that. So definitely you'll need this girl. I love her. I've been known her for a while. Now, this is not business advice, so don't come at me if something goes wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, hop in that space. You're going to have a blast.
And Tanya can also be your press release person. She does it really well.
I'll keep your not a what's it called statement itself, but thank you. That's because I've had some friends that had nightmare issues with stating projects and kind of stole their project, but not stole their project, but pretty much stole the concept of it. So that's why I'm iffy about it. But thank you so much.
No worries. I always do a lot of NDA, so no worries. I've been doing this since 2006. I'm a publisher, so my press room's been around since 2007. So like I said, let's chit chat. Let me know you want to talk a bit further. But we're gonna be going to Louis' space. If you want to join us, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down this space. And again, everybody have a great day. And don't forget, I'm gonna be cutting up the spits and having some fun with it. Thank you, Brent. Carlos, I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'll follow you right away, and I'm probably just gonna be in the background because I'm with family. Thank you.
Sounds great. Bye, everybody. Have an awesome day.
Okay, thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Read the DM.
See you soon, Tanya.
Bye, Brent.